Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you're doing fine. In today's session, we are going to talk about communication skills. And as you know, one of the most important features of communication skills is communicating interculturally. We human beings are divided into various tribes, groups, communities based on our demographic, geographic, or ethnic, or any other sort of background. So, coming from various backgrounds, we have to interact with each other as we are from various distinct cultural contexts. So, therefore, our communication varies from culture to culture, from place to place, and from demography to demography. So, culture, what is culture? Culture is often defined as interrelation to communication. Culture is communication, and communication is culture. It means that culture is passed on where communication and communication reflects one's culture. So, communication and culture both are interrelated, as language is one of the significant features of communication. So, there are some key definitions which we have to focus while having a look at culture and intercultural communication, market globalization, cultural diversity, culture, and subculture. So, culture is linked to communication, and a wide range of human beings are engaged in experiences, including feelings, identity, and sense making. It provides people with different ways of thinking and seeing. Culture helps in hearing and interpreting the world. It also involves a number of man made collective artifacts and is shared by the number of a social group. It is something that shapes one's behavior and structures one's perception of the world. So, culture is our perception, our making sense, and the way we look at the surroundings or our environment. So, culture is extremely important because culture is learned, culture varies in stability, culture varies in complexity, cultures vary in tolerance, and cultural differences occur from places to places. Some cultural context, physical cues, environment, stimuli, and implicit understanding that convey the meaning, such as our dressing, our attire, our cultural belongings, symbolic significance, such as Sindhi shawl or Ajrak, Kashmiri shawl, Gilgiti cap. So, these are some of the symbolic things that reflect the background of an individual. There are some high context culture. Majority of the message is communicated indirectly, non-verbally, in high context. Our dressing, our way of life, it all tells us about our background. There are some low content culture. Majority of the message is communicated directly through words where we have to convey our ideas to other. But in high contact culture, people normally understand each other without any kind of explicit use of words. Rather, non-verbal communication or signals or gestures, they help in understanding each other. So when communicating across cultures, apply these four basic principles. Seek mutual understanding or ground to allow clearest possible exchange of information. Send and receive message without judgment. This is extremely important. Passing judgments, making stereotypes, and considering other people as inferior creates the kind of sense of confusion or a kind of hatred towards each other. Next point is third one, send messages that are honest, show respect for culture differences. So this is also one of the basic principle. First one was understanding. Second one was receiving message without judgment or sending it. Then showing honesty. And the fourth one, showing respect for each culture. So culture varies, and we have to recognize various culture differences through various things. Here, negotiating styles, they also vary from person to person, from place to place, from culture to culture. Decision making process also changes from place to place. There are some problem solving techniques that we have to adopt in order for us to communicate with each other. There are some ethics, moralities that we have to follow while talking to a person of another background. There are people who have some kind of status, and in their own culture, their status is recognized. But when they go in another culture, their status is indistinguishable. So we have to give respect to that. And then there are some manners which we need to follow in order to recognize the culture differences. And then there is time. Time is also extremely important. The time of the day, the time of some particular festival, the time of some function, the timings that of merriment, or a timing of some kind of mourning. And then there are personal spaces that people need while communicating with each other. And there is body language that is part of nonverbal communication, or paralinguistic features as well. So communication across various different cultures, where you have to understand each other, the background of each nationality, the background of various different ethnic groups, the background of